I'm not one for secrets, especially not from my parents. It's just not how I roll. Because at one point, when I was a little girl, my mom said to me, "If it's not something that you can share with us, maybe it's not something that you should be doing." That was and continues to be a masterfully manipulative way for her to get me to be a really, really, really good girl. Parents in the audience, take note. So this secret I kept from my parents wasn't actually something I was ashamed of. It was just an event that occurred with really awkward timing. This is the story of a secret that should not have been a secret, but that was a secret for years and years. It's the story of an abortion. I was right out of college. Fun fact, ladies of the audience and gentlemen of the internet. Did you know that birth control pills are rendered ineffective when you're on antibiotics?
Yes.
Everyone's like, yes. No, I did not know that. Oops, nobody ever told me. So there I was, 2 days late for a period that has never ever been and continues to never ever be late, and I knew it. I just had that sinking 3 a.m. feeling. How is this happening? Why is this happening? 30 minutes later, I was back at my apartment from the 24-hour drugstore, stunned boyfriend in tow, looking at 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 positive pregnancy tests. Should I have called my mother? Yes, except that it was 3 a.m. And also, her mother, my grandmother, had passed away that morning. My grandmother was elderly and she was suffering from heart disease. Terrible timing. Just not really the best time for it. "Hey, Mom, I'm unexpectedly pregnant and I don't think I want to keep it. Can we talk about options together?" kind of conversation. So I had this conversation instead. Me. I'm calling Planned Parenthood first thing in the morning. Boyfriend. "But Roni, my sister has been trying to get pregnant for years. Let's just give her the baby." Me, no. No, I am not that nice. Also, no. No. Boyfriend, "How are we gonna pay for this?" Me. "Well, my best friend worked at Planned Parenthood all through college, and she told me that there are 2 price points. The kind where they just give you extra strength Tylenol while you're having an abortion, and the kind where they put you out. I think the first choice is not too expensive." Boyfriend. "Okay." Me. "Don't feel bad. It's not even anything yet. It's microscopic. It's potential." Boyfriend. "Good night." The truth is, we really, really loved each other, but we also really, really knew that we weren't each other's one forever person, and that having a kid together would bind us to one another forever, and that was not a conversation we were ready for. So the next morning, as I arranged my flight to Israel to attend my grandmother's funeral, I also made a same-day appointment for Planned Parenthood. And even though they told me that it was a little bit early on the scheduling thing, I didn't know how long I was going to be in Israel and how you get an abortion in Israel. So I was just not going to wait. It was 2-3 weeks in, basically like a clump of cells that joined together inside of me, and that was good enough. I packed a little bag with my wallet and a few magazines to read in the waiting room, of course, and off we went. Now, Chicago is a pretty liberal place, but of course the day I went to Planned Parenthood, there was a group of protesters waiting for me to prayer circle. Hi. Frida. I checked in, and then I happily was just flipping through magazines, making jokes with my boyfriend. I'm sure we looked really adorable. And then they called my name. Step 1, ultrasound. Are you really pregnant? Yes. Do you want to look at it? Sure. Hey, look, it's a tiny speck of human potential dust. 3 weeks in, it's like microscopic fingernail clipping. Cool. Step 2, talk to a counselor about my feelings. My feelings. If I have this baby, I will regret it and resent it for the rest of my life. If I give this baby up for adoption, I will regret it and resent it for the rest of my life. Pretty cut and dry. I had thought about this a lot, and then because it was me and I'm kind of an intimacy whore, we got into a conversation about the counselor's life. She, the counselor, is part of the zero population movement. You know, like no more humans on Earth. You cannot make this shit up. This was the perfect job for her. Step 3, down a couple of extra strength Tylenols. Step 4, go down to the basement for the procedure. I walk into the room, get in the gown, and then a stereotype walks through the door. Sassy, large nurse lady. I'm looking around and thinking, is this some sort of hidden camera, hilarious abortion TV show? What is happening? First, the zero population lady, now this woman. We talked, and because I'm an intimacy whore, we really got into it. And then she found out that I was writing a comedy show, which she got really excited about, but then we were rudely interrupted by the doctor coming in. Short, nebushy, Jewish. Let's get started. Wait! Stop! Where's my hand holder? I asked. See, my friend that worked at Planned Parenthood, she was an advocate. That means that she held people's hands while they were getting abortions. Nice gesture, don't you think? The truth of the matter is, I was 100% emotionally prepared. I thought through the scenario very thoroughly. I had no doubts, but I don't know about you guys, when I'm going through an incredibly painful procedure only on extra strength Tylenol, I'd like to have someone's hand to grip onto. I had 2 options. I could hang onto the metal railings, or I could crush an advocate's hand. And since that someone couldn't be my boyfriend or anyone I knew who hadn't scrubbed, I was expecting the hand holder. Oh, the doctor said slowly. No advocates on Wednesday. I must have looked really disappointed because he immediately opened the door and asked his resident to come in and hold my hand. This tall, lanky, cold fish woman with super clammy hands came in. I'll hold your hand. And then it happened. It did not feel good. I gripped that cold fish hand and squeezed it. I gritted my teeth. I probably said a bunch of curse words in Hebrew. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just gripped. Note of information, ladies. If you find yourself in this situation, A of all, spring for the good drugs. And B of all, wait until your body knows that it's actually pregnant, because then your cervix will not fight as much as mine did, and it will be a lot less painful. And that is my abortion advice for you. And then when it was all done, the doctor looked at me and said, so, Nurse Shelley tells me you're a comedienne. Let's hear a joke. Feet still in the stirrups. A few years later, I was sitting at dinner at my parents' house. We were talking about a very good family friend who, due to some really serious health complications, could not complete a pregnancy. She had to have an abortion. She had to. My mom was going on and on about how limiting it is for this woman to be living in Texas. I just couldn't hold it in anymore. I said, you guys, I had an abortion when I was 22. I'm not very good with transitions. Stunned silence. My mother turned to me and said, why didn't you tell us? I explained the situation. I explained that my brother knew this whole time and had been super supportive, and I explained how ridiculous it all was at the time and how I couldn't possibly bring any of it up during a funeral. And then time went on, and it just got to be a weirder and weirder thing to bring up. My father turned to me and said, do you have any other secrets that you have not shared with us? No! No, not me. I'm a really, really good girl. I told my parents the whole story. My mom called me brave. My dad laughed. And that felt so good. It felt good to share with them. And it felt great to hold my mom's hand while I was doing it. Thank you.